Hi, I'm Avery. I'm from Kaid, and I'm recording this because I'd like to get some input on what this shot or these mechanics are called. Someone probably knows, I don't. So, the most straightforward way I know to throw this shot is to lead with the front edge, up through an outside circle here. So now the true edge is facing back towards me, and cut and rotate into an off-body offside. So the shot looks like this. I have called this a bunch of shots. I've called it an off-body whip because you sort of whip it in at the end there. I've called it an hourglass shot because you sort of describe one circle here and then connect through the center, and then there's almost a circle here, so almost like this, like one of these. I don't know if that's really the right term either, but this is sort of the mechanic, and the thing is, it's on the backwards portion of the first rotation, you can go with the true edge out all the way around, up, all the way around, and then keep the true edge there, or you can false edge back, roll to true edge about here, like this, and generate that power. But really what it comes down to, you can throw this shot from here by rotating the elbow out, rotating the wrist down, getting a little bit of wrist torsion. Is that the term? I don't even know. Wrist extension, I guess. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, and a little bit of shoulder pump and hand movement, and you can go here and drive. And if you just punch it out, it doesn't do much, but with the wind up, the wind up obviously helps get some momentum into the blade, but it also helps, instead of you just popping the blade down like that weakly, that wind up encourages you to actually unchamber. So you can almost sort of simulate that by dropping the entire first portion of the shot down and just chambering as if you ended in this position by going, right? And I'm obviously not throwing hard. If you throw it hard, the hardest I can throw this with the wind up, that one didn't land right, but, and the nice thing is it's a pretty good shot in close. Drops into the armpit sometimes. It can get around an opponent's shield edge. Say this is the shield edge, you can go like this. Or even your own shield edge. So it's a nice tight shot. But you can also throw it pretty hard just by chambering and uncorking. So that wind up here is just a way to generate power for the second portion of the shot, which is just sort of a diagonal down rotation where the blade travels, in this case, note my knuckles are pointed here, so it's true edge travels in almost a 360 degree arc, almost like this, right, with the follow through. So, and then of course you can modify it, right? Like you can throw it, instead of throwing it here, you can turn this actually into a shot. And this starts to look like a pretty typical snap offset. But I'm using, by rolling my true edge back towards my face, it's a different wind up than I would do for just a snap offset where I go snap and then roll over here. Like this is sort of a more typical, whereas this, that one I went flat. But by bringing the blade back and getting that uncorking whip motion, it's a little different. So I'm not sure what you would call this portion of it, and I'm not sure that this is an essential part of it. And you can even do it as like a J shot to the leg, right? So the blade comes down, J's here, come back, rotate around, right? Like you can J to the leg. And then of course it doesn't need to be into the armpit or even deep to the body. You can go to the head, you can throw the leg. Now it's starting to look like a moulinet, but this motion here is something I've really started to fall in love with. So I just don't know what this is called. It's obviously a kind of offside shot, but to me, this mechanic's really different, and I like it because I don't have to. Most people when they throw an offside, they roll the left hip or their off hip forward. When I throw an offside, I tend to go the other way, more like a cross punch. So I don't have to go with my body this way to throw this. I can even punch that hip forward the other hip if I wish. But for the most part, from here, you can just do weight transfer or just uncork, and I can land with pretty good power without even really trying very hard if I can get wound into this position, right? And this also to me looks familiar, like when you see someone, they're fighting single sword, they're hoping for an attack in this quadrant, so they'll parry here, so they go block and uncork. Like they always want to pick up that snap, like say they're two right-handed swordsmen, pick up the shot of this quadrant and then use the power here. So it's much the same mechanic, but you generate the power yourself by bringing this true edge back towards you and creating this rotational shot. And it can get like pretty, you can even throw it from fairly close if you get comfortable. I'm not wearing any sort of gear, but if I'm here and I sort of Kjartan lean, I can kind of drop that in here while, you know, pretty A range. And this is almost coming in at this angle across me vertically. So if I change the angle here, say this is my opponent, from the front it looks like drop here, up, and into the body. Right? Or if you don't do the wind up, so something I'm not super comfortable with yet, but I'm sort of liking it as an offside because it also projects forward more as opposed to this way. So I don't know. What would you call it?